Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. The temperatures are about to drop out there. When they do, if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you start your own home improvement project, you need to use winter building materials. You've got to have cold weather materials if you're building projects in the cold weather. They have what you need at A.G. Hines Company. That's right in downtown Knoxville. And along with the materials, they've got all the tools you need. They've got 100 years of experience to kind of get you going in the right path in terms of answering your questions when you're down there. You can also find them at aghines.com. More than 100 years, it's a great family business. I can't say enough about them. They helped us build this new studio. aghines.com, A.G. Hines Company. All right, let's welcome in wave 2 of today's group. We have right over here from 99.1 The Sports Animal, Josh Ward. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
VFL Marlon Walls back with us again. Marlon, thank you for being here, my friend.
Appreciate it.
And right down there, longtime sports writer, TV guy, radio guy. You'll see him on the street wearing a sandwich board. Chuck, the ham that can't be cured.
That's right.
Chuck Cavaleris. Chuck, thanks for being here.
Great to be here, John.
Okay, this segment is all about what we learned last night, a little bit more specific than that big picture stuff we talked about in the last segment. So this could be about a unit, a player, wherever you want to go with it. Josh, I'll start with you. What did you learn last night?
I learned that the nation believes Tennessee is back. We have this local conversation. Tennessee fans believe that Tennessee is back. I think the nation believes it. We'll see where Tennessee is ranked this week. But game day's back in Athens, so Tennessee gets a third spotlight there. We'll go over some of the national awards Tennessee's going to have a chance.
The third CBS game.
Yep.
Right.
And Hendon Hooker is now taking charge. Jalen Hyatt is taking charge. You mentioned Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. I think are telling everybody else, hey, you need to be paying attention to this Tennessee football team. The press box is packed with national media coming to town to check out Tennessee football. The nation believes that Tennessee is back. Does that mean the Vols will win a national championship? We'll find out. But the nation believes Tennessee is a real contender.
Herbstreit last night was going specifically about Georgia better be paying attention.
Yeah.
He was talking about Georgia's offense better be paying attention to some of the guys on Tennessee's defense, which I don't know how many of us would have predicted that one before this season started 8 weeks ago. Who's next?
Well, can I go with one of those guys on Tennessee defense?
Yeah.
Nico Slaughter. You've got a safety who played maybe the best game from a cornerback at Tennessee. What? I don't know if anybody played that well. Well, I guess
Alontae
they did
Taylor last year.
Alontae Taylor. But not only that, does that go to him and what kind of a player he is, I think that goes right back to Tennessee's coaches. Because you take a guy, and he said after the game, hey, I like it in the box. So he wants to stay back at safety. But you take a guy, put him in a new position, he plays great, and that goes to not only the player, but it goes to the coaching too.
All right, very good. Marlon, Chuck, you got one you want to go?
Yeah, I'll jump in there. Heck, speak to what Josh was talking about. Heck, I met Ocho Cinco last night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there you go.
So the nation they're taking notice every day on Twitter. It looks like somebody else is jumping on that bandwagon. But the one I took away was I think Heupel has more tricks in his bag. Trick or treat
Halloween,
references.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw some things last night that he did as far as getting Small involved in the passing game. Kentucky defended it pretty well, but once you threw Small in there, now you're asking a linebacker who's playing zone to now cover a running back up the seam, and that looked pretty good. But then also, I think when you add in Tillman back, I know Heupel, like mindset-wise offensively, he's probably got some bags, some things he's been working on. Okay, now you have to account for Jalen Hyatt. You have to account for Brew McCoy. You have to account for Keaton. Mm-hmm. And now I'm throwing in Tillman, who's the best out of the bunch statistically last year. So I think he's got some things he's been working on that we haven't even seen yet.
And he's turned Princeton Fant into
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
So
You don't know if he's going to get a shovel pass
Yeah.
or he's going to carry the ball.
Is he the
So I
best
think he's got a
fullback
lot
in
of
the
things
SEC? Yeah.
we haven't
Or
seen
throw
yet.
it.
Yeah.
Or throw it.
throw it.
Chuck.
Well, we don't like to mention the names of former, coaches, like you mentioned earlier, John.
Yeah, I never do that. When would I pick on a former coach?
But a phrase came to mind last night. I'm watching this game, and it was complimentary football. And to me, it's the end of the first half. It's still a game. It's 20-6. Kentucky has the ball, right? If they do something there and score, they can turn it into a one-possession game. Your defense gets a stop. Your kicking team kind of gets a fingertip on the ball. You get the ball in good position. The last few seconds of the first half, you hit them with a touchdown pass, right?
Which you said a few weeks ago was after Florida, after Alabama, stop giving them the ball late.
Stop giving them the ball late. And to me, that took the life out of them. Because you go from 20-6 to 27-6, Tennessee starts the second half, puts points on the board again.
But in Tennessee, it can't be too late, though.
Right.
I mean, that's what's funny. I mean,
Right.
20 seconds to go, yeah, we can lose 50
As
yards.
long,
We can do something. Yeah.
Heupel said today, as long as there's still like a tick on the clock, there's still a belief. It's almost like Roger Staubach used to be with the Cowboys. There's that kind of belief in this quarterback.
Or Tom Brady with the Patriots.
Or Fran Tarkenton with the Vikings, okay?
Or Derek Carr with your Raiders.
There we go.
Good chance to beat the Saints today, Joe.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing that I learned, and let me go ahead and put this graphic up. I'm learning that Josh Heupel is a real rarity. We've talked on the show for years that great players don't necessarily make great coaches. It's usually it's not the guy born with talent who becomes a great coach. It's the guy who's the grinder, who has to watch more film. That's the guy that's the better coach typically. I went back and looked. Heisman winners and Heisman runners-up since 1950 who went into the FBS coaching ranks. Steve Spurrier, obviously great coach, national title. Johnny Majors, obviously great coach, national title. Pat Sullivan, not a great coach. Jerry Stovall, not a great coach. Josh Heupel's 43-14. It's early, but he's still got question marks there for national title. He's in the picture. I think his trajectory says he's going to be a great coach. And again, that's since 1950. There aren't many guys that are Heisman-level athletes who then become great coaches. And to me, that really stands out when you put him in a group with a Spurrier and a Majors. Again, he's young in his career, but his trajectory is pointing in the right
I
direction.
would have thought that number would have been 3 or 4 times that.
Oh, the number of coaches who've done it?
Yeah. You know, you sit there and that is a rarity. I mean, I would have thought it would have been many more.
And you could do the same thing with the NFL. You go back through the Super Bowl winning coaches, there aren't a lot of them who were spectacular players. It was mainly guys who were, I didn't realize he was in the league. You know, those kind of guys, backups. All right, when we come back, Marlon's going to be joined by Will Overstreet and Daniel Hood, and we're going to talk about confidence and how the confidence might be making Tennessee's defense play even better than we ever thought in terms of the talent level may be here, but defenses sometimes, they get to feeling it. Is Tennessee feeling it? We'll discuss that next. Come on back on the Sports Source.
Away from home? Watch the Sports Source live at WATE.com.